Right now we're going live to our I24 news correspondent Shai Ben-ari, who is right next to the Grand Synagogue of Paris. Good evening, Shai. It's been, let's say, to say the least, it's been a really hard couple of days in Paris, and it's right now maybe ending in this common prayer that the two leaders are going to give. What was the feeling today? You accompanied the rally. What was the feelings today on the streets?
Yes, Lucy. The feeling today, I would say the best word to describe it was something historic. It's in the past few years, I don't think there were many events worldwide that could have brought about this kind of international participation on an actual leadership level. You know, we had at least 47 world leaders present today, including, of course, UK Prime Minister David Cameron, the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is, of course, here, as well as the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and even the Turkish Prime Minister. Right now, we are awaiting the arrival of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel here, as well as the French President Francois Hollande. A few minutes ago, we witnessed the arrival of the French Prime Minister Manuel Valls, and right before that, the former President Nicolas Sarkozy. We did, let's call it an applause rating. And I would say that the applause for Sarkozy was a bit higher. It was also accompanied by cries of Sarko, Sarko here outside the Synagogue, Victoire, where that common prayer will take place in a few moments. We are awaiting the arrival, as I said, of Netanyahu and Hollande themselves.
You know, Shai, you watched the rally. We've been discussing here in the studio about maybe the four people that separated between Benjamin Netanyahu and President Mahmoud Abbas. How did the people see it over there when these two rivals are actually walking one next to the other and not maybe taking any leadership decision?
Right. Well, I don't think that the people here in France are particularly concerned, you know, right now with the relations between Israel and Palestine. I don't think that was their focus today. There was a lot of, I think, admiration for Prime Minister Netanyahu within the Jewish community at the moment with his decision to arrive here despite certain security concerns. But really the sense that we got here today was a momentous day for French society when you talk about the slogan, Je suis Charlie, which has really taken over and become something of a national slogan. You can see it really everywhere on commercial billboards, on TV. It's often in the left-hand corner of the screen on just regular channels. It's really everywhere to be seen. And throughout the day, there was also a sense of patriotism or even nationalism throughout the city. We were basically hearing on a spontaneous level the Marseillaise, the French national anthem, being sung again and again without any sort of event triggering it, followed by loud applause, which lasted for minutes often. That was the case. In terms of the Israeli-Palestinian peace process, I think that has been delayed to a different time. Despite the actual presence of these two leaders here, I don't think too many people are focused particularly on that.
Shai, one last question. You know, on Friday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave a statement and he called for the Jewish community and maybe said that he will do his best to help the Jewish community in Paris to do aliyah to Israel and to come with their families to Israel. This can maybe in one way or another be not in a positive way taken by the president of France, that maybe Benjamin Netanyahu was taking advantage of the situation for political reasons.
You're right, Lucy. That kind of statement is actually not looked upon in a positive way here by the French authorities and indeed much of French society. France does not want to be seen or considered a place where Jews or any other minority are unsafe. Though it has to be said, we have been amongst many of the Jewish residents of the city, and we were in the neighborhood of Port-Vincent, where that event happened on Friday, and certainly there's a sense of uneasiness and fear, and certainly there are a lot of concerns for safety. That was the call when we were at that in that neighborhood when the Prime Minister Manuel Valls arrived. There was a lot of criticism turned his way by residents who we spoke to, who said more needed to be done and more should have been done before the events of the weekend of Friday and the day before. So certainly there's a lot of anger, and there is certainly, I think this will be back on the table again, perhaps in an unprecedented fashion, the actual problem of Jews in Europe and in France in particular, and the question of how safe it is for them to stay here, live here, and what is their place in French society exactly.
Yes, Shai Ben-ari, thank you very much. You're waiting for now for President Francois Hollande and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to arrive to the Grand Synagogue.
If you look at this picture, Abu Mazen and Netanyahu are marginal. The important aspect is in the center.